Welcome to a new episode of Taco Tuesday, but you can make these tacos any day of the week. And I'm going to show you a kind of funny, different way of thinking about a taco filling. It comes from an old thing that we used to do when I was a kid in my Boy Scout troop, and we would go out on these campouts and we would make what we called hobo packs. And you make them with a double layer of foil. You put all of your ingredients in there, you seal it up, and then you put it on a campfire. Now, if you happen to have a grill lit or a fireplace that you want to put a grilling rack in, you could do it in that old-fashioned way. I'm just going to use an oven for this. What you get is this beautiful flavor of all these vegetables, flavorings, and meat cooked together, so it infuses the flavor in a really cool way. So I like to do it with chicken thighs because cooking is not particularly precise here. I like to put a piece of banana leaf at the bottom to keep this meat from sticking onto the foil itself. You can think of that banana leaf as optional if you want. Now we're going to make a seasoning paste here that starts with poblano chilies. So first you roast 4 poblano chilies. You roast them until they are completely blackened on the outside, and then rub the skin off of them. Pull it open, take the seeds and the stem part out, and get rid of that along with the charred skin. And you'll have something that looks like that. I'm going to put that, just move this thing over here so that I can chop this up roughly. And then I'm going to mix it with the other 3 that are already done here. So we've got the chopped up, roasted, and peeled poblano. I'm going to put that directly into the food processor along with the other 3. I'm going to put into that food processor also some garlic. This is peeled garlic, but I'm going to give it a rough chop just to make sure that it gets finely chopped with those poblano chilies. About a half a teaspoon of salt will go in here just to flavor it. We're going to add salt to the rest of the dish as well, and a couple of tablespoons of good olive oil. Good means for me a flavorful olive oil. Okay, put the top on the processor and then pulse it until we've got a paste here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I want a little bit of texture still left in it, but I think that'll do fine for what we want it to be here. Chopped up boiling potatoes. Now, you could use any kind of potato, but if you use a baking potato, it's going to get really crumbly and it'll taste drier. So I like to use that better texture for me of the boiling potatoes because it's a bit waxier. And I'm going to sprinkle these guys all over. Oops, I missed one thing. We got to do, and this is really, really important. I'll spread those out a little bit. But we want to season each layer of this. So I'm going to sprinkle salt over the chicken thighs. These are boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And then I'm going to put the potatoes all over that. This, by the way, doesn't have to be served as a taco filling. This could be a main course as well. And you'll love it as a main course. I originally developed this recipe as a main course. Okay, so that's going to all go in there. And then the last flavoring, you can see how simple this is to do, is to sort of scatter the roasted poblano garlic mixture over this. Now, it already looks like it's going to be a really delicious dish because the depth and flavor of the poblanos is second to none. Olive oil, a little bit of salt in all of that. Now, that's already got its salt on it, so we don't have to put it on there. I think I didn't do the potatoes, though, so I'm going to give it just a touch more. And then this is the way that you're going to fold all this together. So this is 2 layers of heavy-duty foil here. Put the top on over the top like that, the other part of it, and then crimp the sides, and you want to double fold it all the way around because you're really trying to seal in any steam that is created in this. So on this side, you can probably see it better over here. But I fold it once across and then fold it a second time to make sure that it's very firmly sealed in there. Turn it and do the same thing on this side once and then a second time. You just want to make sure that it's very well sealed in there. Now we'll go over to the stove. We've got the stove heated to a temperature that is higher than what you think it might be. This is at 450, and I'm going to slide this off of this cookie sheet in there. And then let me see, I've got to pull this shelf out so that you can see how puffed it is. That indicates there's a lot of steam in there. It's really beautiful. Okay, pull it out gently there. You can see it starting to deflate a little bit. And then I'm going to slide it onto this rack to get it out. Now, you have to watch when you're doing this that you don't rip that foil. Okay, so there, I've got it. Close this guy up. And we'll see what we have over here. This is going to be the time when it's actually going to be about the hottest that it will be. And you'll notice the steam coming out. So you want to be gentle with it as you're unfolding it here. Oh, that, by the way, was about a half an hour in the oven. So open this guy up. Wow. So foil, for me, isn't super hot. But it's this point where you're going to open it up like that, and you could possibly be burned by the steam of it. Wow. We got some really beautiful aromas coming out of this. I'm going to move this guy over because there's so much juice in here that I don't want to lose any of it at all. I'm going to pick this guy up with the aid of tongs here, and just, oh, look at those juices coming out. That way we can save all of that for the final serving. That's beautiful. Move those guys over. And when I say beautiful, what I'm thinking of is how good this smells right now. Open it up. That steam is coming out, but we've let off the bulk of the steam. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. And it smells so much like the banana leaf and the roasted poblanos. So you take a little bit of this. Now I use thighs here because breast meat will tend to overcook. It's an imprecise way of cooking. So you want to get your most bulletproof cuts of meat for something like this. And I'll take a couple of these thighs, and you can see that they're cooked through, but they're not overcooked. They're still got some resilience to them, which is perfect for something like this. Cut that up. And they're really beautifully infused with the flavor of the poblano. Mix that stuff together. Those little potatoes that are in there, this is going to be so good. I've got some tortillas here that are hot, and we'll lay a couple of those on a platter here, or a plate here. Put some of this chicken thigh on the top of it, and then some of our mixture of potatoes with roasted poblano and garlic. Look at how good that looks. I'm going to give it just a tiny sprinkling of salt. This would be a great place for one of the finishing salts, like a Malden salt. I'm going to also give it a little bit of lime juice squeezed over these two tacos here. And next will be a handful of cilantro to add that fresh herbiness to it. Just let those leaves fall over it like that. And you have a really, really great taco.